All right, welcome back. MDM Plays here, and today we're playing some Magic the Gathering. We're actually going to play a Modern League, and we're playing a fun deck today. Not exactly a Tier 1 meta deck, but it did well in an Asian tournament recently. So this is Amalia combo. Amalia, of course, a very strong Pioneer archetype that was recently banned. And we have the same tools that make it work in Pioneer are available in Modern, plus the addition of some other fantastic pieces. So you can see here, in addition to the Amalia and Wildgrowth Walker combo, which you see we have Amalia, whenever you gain life, she explores, and then when she has exactly 20 power, she destroys all other creatures. So you pair that with Wildgrowth Walker, which every time you explore, it gets a +1/+1 counter and gains life. The life gained from the Wildgrowth Walker will trigger Amalia, which will trigger Wildgrowth Walker, so it's a loop until Amalia hits 20 power and blows everything up, and you gain a lot of life along the way. So in addition to that combo, we also have Samwise and Cauldron Familiar. So Samwise says whenever another non-token creature enters, create a food. It also has another line of text: sack 3 foods and return a historic card from your graveyard, but that matters less. What we really care about is that when a creature enters, we make a food. Cauldron Familiar, of course, it's a 1/1 that when it enters, it drains your opponent for 1, and you can sacrifice a food to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this is a loop if you have a sacrifice outlet, and we're playing Viscera Seer here as a cheap tutorable sacrifice outlet for that as well. So we've got a couple combos that are game ending. 1 Grist for the value. It is a creature, so you can Chord for Grist, so it's always nice to be able to Chord for removal. 6. I played this deck a little bit. 6 has not really impressed me in this deck. I think it's really fun in some other decks, especially decks like Temur Breach, where you're making good use of your graveyard, but 6 is it's okay. It hasn't really amazed me, but I haven't quite cut it yet. And we're playing Birthing Rituals as well. So this is going to let us, with everything costing 1 or 2 for the most part, except for the 6 and the Grist, Birthing Ritual really lets us dig deep every end step to find combos, and both of these combos can happen at instant speed with Chord of Calling. So it's been pretty resilient. Cenote Scout's another card that I'm considering maybe going down to 1 of, to make room for another Bowmaster. I think Cenote Scout's easily the worst card in the deck, but that's okay. We'll play it with this configuration, which is, again, the configuration I copied from the one that won the large Asian tournament. And with Modern Horizons 3, Sylvan Safekeeper is now a card that is part of the modern metagame, and so easy to Chord for with a cost of green. And it offers some very cheap protection, since these are all creature combos. Gives us some really good protection here that we can Chord for. In the sideboard, we've got Sun Cleansers, obviously, for energy. We've got Fatal Pushes for where we care about keeping the board clean and giving us some time to set up. Endurance for graveyard decks. I have found Goryo's is a bit of a tough matchup for this deck, so Endurance and Veil both pull weight in that matchup. Veil also good in the control matchup when you want to make sure that your cards resolve. Damping Sphere for Eldrazi and the other big mana decks, along with Titan. It's pretty decent against Titan. It's not as good as against the Eldrazi decks, because it's very easy for Titan to tutor Boseiju or a million other answers for Damping Sphere, but with a deck like this, sometimes all you need is a turn, and this will certainly buy you a turn. We've got a Pithing Needle in here as a bit of a catch-all, good against a lot of different decks. And then Haywire Might for the one-ring decks, and anything else that might stand in our way. For example, Pithing Needles on Cauldron Familiar or something like that. Like Haywire Might is another really good catch-all at 1 mana. It's easy to Chord for. We're already in green, so it's easy to activate. So yeah, that's how it is. Let's jump on in here and start a league. All right, so here we go. Round 1 of our Amalia League is beginning. We won the die roll. That's good. We'll play first. Let's see. This hand is not great, although we have access to all of our colors. Viscera, Seer, Birthing Ritual. In the dark, I think we'll probably keep it because we have turn 1 guy, turn 2 Birthing Ritual, and if they have a Thought Seize or something, we have a second Birthing Ritual. We'll try it. We'll see. Our opponent's taking their time here, deciding on their opening hand. I've been thinking about ways to get stuff out of the graveyard with a deck like this. One of the hallmarks of the Amalia combo in Pioneer was that you would play something like Return to the Ranks or Extraction Specialist. There's also the black card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction that has a spree cost that lets you put stuff into play from your graveyard. So I've been thinking about potentially Extraction Specialist. Okay, so we're up against Eldrazi here. So we'll have to go fast before they can set up. But right now we don't really have ways to get stuff out of our graveyard once it's there. But it would be nice for Extraction Specialist or something similar to be in here, maybe as a 1 or a 2 of. Alright, starting with an Ugin's Lab, they're probably going to imprint the Devourer. Yeah, what'd they get rid of? Myco Spawn, Woodlands, Misty. Alright, that's fine. Safekeeper's good. Safekeeper's good. I think it's more important to get the Birthing Ritual down. So we'll get a white-green land here. We want Temple Garden. It's important to have triple green online for Chord. Alright, let's take a peek. So we can get Amalia, Cauldron Familiar, or Bowmaster, or Wildgrowth Walker, actually. Huh. Well, we're definitely cashing in the Viscera Seer. The question is, what do we want? I think I'm going to take... Well, I guess it depends. I don't know what kind of Eldrazi deck they are. If they're Rug Eldrazi, they have Kozilek's Return in the main deck, which sort of wrecks Amalia. But I think I'm okay if they trade it next turn straight up for 1 Amalia. Wait, I don't think we take Cauldron Familiar because we just sacked the Viscera Seer that goes with it. I think we'll take Amalia. If we draw a land next turn, we can go either Grist or Safekeeper's second Birthing Ritual. Okay, so he's got Eldrazi Temple. 4 mana, maybe Thought Knot Seer. Still don't know exactly what version they are. With Myco Spawn and Woodlands, like I'm thinking maybe they're the Rug ramp deck, but we'll see. Just passing the turn. Oh, well, they have Kozilek's Command that they're holding up. Okay, so we didn't hit a land, knowing that they have Kozilek's Command. I'm going to attack first. See if they use the command now or if they hold off to see what else I play, if there's a better target. Yeah, alright, so now I'll just play the Safekeeper. So now if they have Kozilek's Command, they're going to use it. So we'll make them pay the ward. So they're exiling and making spawns. It's fine. I'm wondering if I get Bowmaster to pick off a spawn. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana next turn. 8, 9. They effectively have 9 for Emrakul. I could get... It's either Bowmaster or Samwise. I think I'm going to get Bowmaster in case they have Ring. I know I don't get a token this way. Oh, wow. They didn't sacrifice... Caught him snoozing. They didn't sacrifice the spawn in response. Okay. Well, hey, I'll take it. Caught him sleeping. Alright, so he's going to Ancient Stirrings. Takes another Kozilek's command. Okay. Be really nice to draw a green source here so we can Chord in response to a Kozilek's command. Just play... actually, I'm going to attack first before I play the second Birthing Ritual. Opponent's thinking about this Kozilek's command. Huh, they're trading off a spawn. Oh, or are they just going to sack it? Yeah, okay, they're just going to sack it to the Kozilek's command. So they're probably going to do exile spawn mode then, I would guess. Yeah, exile and spawn. Sure, that's fine. Play second Birthing Ritual. We'll go to end step. So off this guy, I can get Cauldron Familiar. And then off the Cauldron Familiar, I can sack that and put Amalia into play. Maybe I'm supposed to get Goose there for the mana. I just feel like I have to like get into a combo here. Tap land, okay. What's happening? Is this all as dust? Yeah, it's fine. We will play the Hunger Tide, plus mill the Bowmaster. Okay. These insects will power up this Chord that's been rotting in our hand. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mana from our opponent at the moment. The One Ring. It's a good one. The nice thing is, with cat combo, we can just kill them in their upkeep at instant speed. Alright, so they're going to rumble. They probably take Myco Spawn here, I would assume. Especially because we've stumbled on mana. Chooses Sowing Myco Spawn. Yep. Okay, so we know Myco Spawn's in hand. So let's see. If I play 6 and I draw a land, that lets me retrace the Viscera Seer, and then I'm just a Samwise away from the combo. But if I play Cauldron Familiar and I flip a Samwise off, I can do Cauldron Familiar Birthing Ritual and maybe flip a Samwise off of that. Alright, well, my first move isn't on a plus. I think I want to get Birthing Ritual down. It's a value engine that doesn't need mana to function. They're going to Myco Spawn one of my lands almost certainly on their turn. Oh, and I know I said I could do this in their upkeep, but I'm just realizing this actually doesn't target and doesn't cause damage. It's straight life loss, so this actually goes through the ring anyway, which is kind of sick. Alright, so we'll play the Birthing Ritual. We're not going to bother attacking because they've got ring protection. So let's see. There is a Viscera Seer. Alright, so we'll sack an insect. We'll get Viscera Seer. Next turn we can Chord for the Samwise probably. Viscera Seer is dangerous though against the Emrakul deck. If they take your turn, they can just sack all your stuff, which is kind of gross. The same is true for Sylvan Safekeeper. I've been on the wrong end of that, where they control your turn, you draw a Sylvan Safekeeper, and then they sack all your lands. It's kind of yucky. Sprawl, okay, what color? Red, sure. Am I getting Kozilek's returned here? Oh, Devour, sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay. What are they going to target? Maybe the Birthing Ritual? I'd be happy if they targeted the Birthing Ritual. Oh, the Grist? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I just win. They could have Dismember. So let's see. What happens if they have Dismember? I don't think I can play around it. Like, they're just going to draw so many cards off the ring and start exiling my lands. So I just have to jam this Chord. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so X is 2. X is 2, we get Samwise. Then we play Cauldron Familiar, which will trigger Samwise. We get a food. Alright, so we want to auto-yield these. Alright, so we'll sack the Cauldron Familiar, scry 1, cast the Familiar out of the graveyard, sacking the food. We'll put our triggers on the stack. We'll sack the Viscera Seer, sack the Cauldron, activate Viscera Seer, sacrifice, bring the Familiar back, lather, rinse, repeat. Opponent's actually making us do this, which is fine. Does not take very long. It's not a very intense combo. We're certainly not going to time out in this matchup. So we're happy to do a little clicky-clicky. No big deal. They might be hoping that we accidentally misclick and sacrifice our Samwise or something, but that ain't happening. We got plenty of time, so there's no need to rush. We'll leave the Amalia on top. I don't think that it would ever possibly matter, but it's good to think about these things when they don't matter so that when they do matter, you don't have to spend a lot of time thinking about it. Alright, one more loop and they're dead. There we go, GG Eldrazi opponent. That's game one, so now we'll go to sideboard. We got 3 Damping Spheres, which are good. They play a lot of 2-mana lands. We also probably want Haywire Might for their rings. I don't think we want Needle. As you saw, we can win through ring protection. We can win at instant speed. So I don't think we need Needle. Alright, so now what do we cut? I think we can probably cut a Cenote Scout pretty easily. Bowmasters are good against their rings, and as we saw, sometimes we can catch somebody sleeping and pick off their scions. And even if, I mean, you can't rely on your opponent making a mistake, but even if they sack it and we don't get the 1/1, I think that's still fine sometimes to keep them off of all his dust mana. So I think we want the Bowmasters in still, especially because they're also a ring deck. 6 can help you rebuild against Kozilek's Return, but they can easily flash it back and deal 5 to everything as well. So maybe we cut 6. Grist doesn't really do a whole lot in this matchup. I don't think we want to play the game where we're minusing to kill their Eldrazi after they've got the cast triggers. So we need 2 more cuts. Safekeeper, maybe? They'll have Dismember probably, some number of Dismembers. But I think I'm okay with that because they also have Kozilek's Return, which Safekeeper does nothing against. I'm tempted to cut this last Cenote Scout, but every time I go down to 0, that's like the rare time I find myself actually wanting to be able to Chord for one to start the Amalia combo. Maybe we'll just go down to 1 Bowmaster. Try that. Yeah, I'm still a bit unsure how to sideboard. I have a lot of experience playing Amalia in Pioneer, but even though the combo is the same with Wildgrowth Walker in Modern, it's obviously a very different deck, and the metagame is entirely different. So still experimenting a little bit with what to cut in some of these matchups, so we'll see. we'll probably try out, even if we get the same matchup again this league, we'll probably try a couple slightly different configurations and see what feels good and see what doesn't. Once again, our opponent's taking their time here. All right. This hand is pretty slow. I don't think on the draw we can keep this. It gives them too much time to set up. This looks a lot better. Okay, we've got some ramp. We'll cut one of the geese. All right, this is good. We're going to lead on Goose Go. Alright, so they're going to Ancient Stirrings. What are they going to get? K return. Alright, so this is a problem for us. Are they on one land, though? Oh, they're not. Okay. So now I need to be careful about what I play. So if they don't K return next turn, I can probably win. So I'm actually going to play a Wildgrowth Walker here. The other line I could have taken was play Amalia, sack the food, play the Cauldron Familiar, and the ping would make Amalia explore. But if I hit a land and don't put a counter on it, I'm just throwing my Amalia into this Kozilek's return, which is not great. In this case, they've got to make the decision about whether or not they use it just for a goose, and they didn't, so it's not surprising. All right, Blooming Marsh. So what do I do here? Because Kozilek's return's an instant. So first things first. What is the first thing? So I've got 4 mana. So if I Amalia, I'll have... Okay. So this is what I'll do. I'll cast Amalia. And then I'll be able to, if they try to Kozilek's return, I'll be able to Chord for Cenote Scout and start the combo. Gain a lot of life and make a giant Amalia. So if they have a Kozilek's return, they can still interact here. Or Kozilek's command, excuse me. But alright, so we're going to Chord. We're going to go 1, 2. X is 1. We'll Chord for 1. Thank goodness we didn't cut this garbage Cenote Scout, huh? Alright, so Cenote Scout's going to explore. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Let me look at the revealed cards here. Put Viscera Seer in the graveyard, yes. Delighted Halfling in the graveyard, yes. Get rid of that Cauldron Familiar. Now that I've got a Cauldron Familiar in the graveyard, I've got to actually yield. Halfling, Familiar, Viscera Seer. So if you haven't seen this combo before, basically... you'll go through cards in your deck. With Explore, you can choose whether you the lands automatically go to your hand, but you can choose whether or not non-lands stay on top or go in the graveyard. Generally, it's fine to fill up your graveyard. I kind of want to leave something like a Chord on top. All right, we'll leave a Chord. That way, if we have to rebuild, we have what we need to rebuild. So we're just going to keep clicking no here until Amalia gets to 20 power. Then everything will go boom. We will have gained a ton of life. And they'll need something else to deal with this giant Amalia. So Kozilek's Return will resolve. It dealt 2 damage to a 21/21. Not a big deal. We'll discard Windswept Heath, I suppose, and pass the turn. So now next turn we've got Cauldron Familiar in the graveyard. So we can bring that back. We can play Birthing Ritual, and we'll have Chord of Calling available as well. So they do have all his dust mana here, but we've also got 87 life, so we've got plenty of time to find more ways to kill them. So it's not a big deal that they're probably going to have an answer to Amalia here, because we set the top of our deck up. Activated. Oh, okay. Sure. That, I don't think does anything. Are they going to exile it? Oh, Wastecape Battle Mage. Okay. So he just made a 2/2, so he just has a blocker. Yeah, sure. We'll just ping down with the cat. Samwise? No, we'll keep the Samwise. That's actually really good to know, because we can Birthing Ritual, sack the cat, get the Samwise. And now next turn we can Chord for Viscera Seer, which will make a token, and the Damping Matrix does not stop the Cauldron Familiar's ability in the graveyard. Oh, but it does stop Viscera Seer, but we've got Boseiju, so we're fine. All right, hey, we win the match, 1-0 against Eldrazi. Fantastic. Stick around, we'll have round 2 in just a second. All right, we're back. Round 2 starting. Once again, highly skilled in the dice roll. We're going first. Great with a deck like this. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. We'll keep it. We've got this combo here with just need a life gain to kick it off. Redundant Birthing Rituals in case they have an answer. Samwise is a piece to another combo, so that's good. Unfortunately, I wish that we had another Surveil land. Right now, the only Surveil land in the deck is the green-black one. Whenever a creature dies, put a 1/1 counter equipped creature. If it's a vampire, put 2 1/1 counters instead. Okay. So I know there's some kind of combo with this, but I actually don't know exactly what it is. So yeah, I wish we had Lush Portico in here. I don't believe that we do. Yeah, we just have Mortuary, but I've already got a green-black land, and I want white for Amalia and for Samwise. So we're going to get Temple Garden. Yeah, we're going to get Temple Garden. At 20 lands with a deck like this, it is hard to play multiple Surveil lands, but there it would have been nice for sure. What do I play here? I think I just play out Amalia. See, Amalia is like the most important combo piece though, and I don't have a redundant Amalia, and these Wildgrowth Walkers are pretty useless without it, so I guess we'll just lead on Wildgrowth Walker. Even though you really want Amalia to not be summoning sick if possible when you're doing your combo, because you want to be able to attack with your 21/21 right away. Oh, okay, so that's what happens here. It's Broodscale combo. Do I have anything to stop this? I could grist minus, but I can't chord like that. Yeah. Huh. Do I just lose? I could Birthing Ritual into grist. Maybe that's the move. Or maybe they won't have enough mana to equip this. Maybe they'll miss their land drop. It's always possible. So we'll sack the Walker. And we're gonna get Cauldron Familiar because we can chump block the Broodscale with it, and then Samwise next turn. But then we're not going to be short a land. This is tricky. I still think we get Cauldron Familiar anyway. Maybe we can chain together some foods and just have a chump blocker. So I don't know exactly how this deck works, but I'm assuming there's something like Glaring Fleshraker so that all those guys ping, or they just can Kozilek's Command for 50 and stack their entire deck and put some big Eldrazi's in their hand. I mean, once you have infinite mana, I'm sure there's a ton of different ways you can win. So they're in the tank over here, which is probably good, because if they could kill me, they would have probably done that by now instead of letting the clock tick. So you're saying there's a chance. What do I have in the sideboard for this sort of thing? Fatal Push, Pithing Needle, Haywire Might. Going to combat. Okay. I'm just going to take it because I want to be able to use the Cauldron Familiar to Chord. Passing. Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, so now we Samwise. Oops. And if we sack Cauldron Familiar to Birthing Ritual, I'm going to leave it back for a blocker just in case we don't. But if we hit Viscera Seer off this Birthing Ritual, that would be pretty good. They must have some kind of interaction. Okay, so there is Viscera Seer. So we'll go sack Cauldron Familiar, get Viscera Seer. Do I just go for it? I think I just go for it. They've got to have something because they didn't adapt the Broodscale. They didn't equip the blade. But I just don't know what this deck runs. I can do this anytime though, so I guess I can just be patient. I can just be patient and wait for them to do something and then respond to it. Especially because I'll have Chord up next turn to get a redundant piece for whatever they might have. I don't know. I'm unsure of this, but since we can do this at instant speed, I'm not really worried. Oh, I think I was supposed to do it there because now I'm going to give them a bunch of mana. Okay, but I can get Grist. Alright, let's take a draw step. Okay, so we'll put Cauldron Familiar in. We'll ding him for 1. We'll make a food. I didn't draw a land, so I don't get to Chord for Grist here, which is a little bit frustrating. But that's okay. I think we're just gonna go for it. We can put the Chord on the bottom. We've already got one. I think I actually want to be stacking those the other way so I get the food first. Amalia's in hand. We'll put her on the bottom. So we can still get... Yeah, that's fine. If he's got a Kozilek's command, we can still get Sylvan Safekeeper at instant speed to protect it. And Safekeeper will also make another food, so if he does do something funky, like make a really big Kozilek's command, I'll still be able to respond to it. I think I played this... I think it was right to be patient like I was, but I think I was supposed to do all this in response to the Blade being equipped during their turn. So maybe a little bit of a punt, but we have redundancy with Chord still. Chord for 1 still lets us continue this combo. Yeah, so he's just doing a big Kozilek's command. Hopefully he just has the 1. So I'll go Chord. 1, green, green, green. Alright. Well, not punished. So, that's good. What was the name of that card? Blade of the Blood Chief? Blade of the Blood Chief. So we probably want mites. And a needle. I don't think Bowmasters are good here. Again, we'll cut a Cenote Scout. I think that's going to be a common theme here, is cutting a Scout. They're not really playing counter magic, so maybe we can cut a Halfling. And 6 is maybe a bit too slow for this matchup. I do still want the Grist, being able to Chord for Grist and minus on their combo piece is probably good. So maybe something like this. Safekeeper I think has to stay because of Kozilek's command, and I'm assuming they'll have something like Dismember. They also had Carplusian Forest, so maybe they've got some red-based removal. I doubt that they play Kozilek's Return like the other Eldrazi deck, just because their Broodscale's a 2/2 and all that, but I guess we'll see. A little bit blind on this matchup. One land. This is like a decent hand. We get a draw step for going second. Cenote Scout gives us an Explore. If we don't hit a land in our draw step, we can Explore with Scout. If we do, we can just play Gilded Goose and ramp. I guess we'll keep this. This is good enough. Our opponent's on a mulligan. So they have Devourer of Destiny. Let's see what they exile. So they got rid of Broodscale, Stirrings, Carplusian Forest. Okay, so we did hit a land. Unfortunately, it's a tap land, but that's fine because we've got two things to do with green. So we'll get green-white. And in this case, I think we lead on Goose. It's good to have the food in play for mana or for flexibility. If we draw Cat. Glaring Fleshraker. Alright, so that card is just a problem. It's just a really good card. Dryad Arbor. You never want to draw it. But here we are with our Summoning Sick land and our tap land. I think I want to play Underground Mortuary because I can use Dryad Arbor to trigger. Alright, I think we're good on lands. We'll get rid of that. We can use Dryad Arbor to trigger Samwise next turn. Actually, I'm just going to play Scout here. This is close, actually, because we can... Alright, yeah. I'm going to play... we'll make white with this. We'll play Samwise. We'll just play Sam. Get him in. Next turn we can make a couple food with him if he sticks. And also, like, I think I would be happy to trade Samwise for a Fleshraker. Fleshraker is pretty scary. Obviously, if they have the Broodscale combo assembled, that's how they pin you to death every time an Eldrazi spawn comes into play. It pings you and makes another one. Okay, 2 Fleshrakers is terrifying. This is... we're going to die very quickly unless we can combo them out. So they got Blade of the Blood Chief. Yep. So you can see we're already at 11. That happened very quickly. Yeah, I'll take this trade all day long. Holy smokes, I can't believe that. Their hand must not be very good. I'll take that trade all day long. Oh, rewarded. Okay. So I'll go white, green, Samwise. We'll play Dryad Arbor, make a food. Now I can play Cenote Scout. And that'll give me another food. So I'm not even down mana next turn. So we'll make the food with Sam. We'll explore with the Scout. Fatal Push. I think we're a little late for Fatal Push. Because I just want to win. Which I believe I can probably do. Oh, we're just dead. We're just dead. There's nothing we can Chord for because it would have to be for 0. So he sacks, it makes that bigger. Yep. Yep. Wonder if I was supposed to Birthing Ritual last turn. No, because I was going to say, I wonder if I was supposed to Birthing Ritual to try to find the Haywire Might. That's alright. We're dead. On the play, I kind of want Halfling to go a bit faster. Maybe we'll just cut this Grist. Yeah, this hand's fine. It's a bit awkward on the colors, but we'll get green-black. We'll get Overgrown Tomb. Because we can make white for Samwise off of this Halfling. So let's see what they exile. So I'm assuming he's going to imprint the Devourer. Okay, so this is actually, we do green-white, we play Samwise, and now we can hold up Fatal Push, so if he goes for the kill next turn, we got it. Yeah, that fetch land draw was really good. Because now our Fatal Push is turned on for Fleshraker. Yep, so there's the Fleshraker. He's going to go to equip it. And I'll just get rid of it. We'll take Godless Shrine, because it's the only thing that makes black that we can fetch off of that. Alright, so let's play Dryad Arbor, get the food, Birthing Ritual. I'll attack here. So Sonode Scout, Gilded Goose, Viscera Seer. We'll take the Viscera Seer. I think I'm going to cash in the Dryad Arbor for it. Yeah, it's fine. Now we're in a pretty good spot because we're going to get a draw step. We're going to be able to put a second Birthing Ritual in. So assuming we get to our next end step, we're going to get to look at the 1 card in our draw step and then 14 cards in our end step towards finding the cat for the kill. And we've got a couple of foods here as well, so we can actually respond to 1 piece of interaction at instant speed, so we can beat 1 piece of interaction as well if we find the cat. Does he have a Kozilek's command here? Oh, Sowing Myco Spawn. Alright. Totally fine. So he's going to get rid of a land. We don't really need a land. Saga. Oh, he didn't even exile one of ours? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he was one short anyway. Oh boy. Alright, well this is bad for us next turn. So we better win this turn. We did get the turn. Am I supposed to sack the halfling? No, because I need something to sack the birthing ritual. Okay, so we'll draw Amalia. Does this change anything? I don't think it does. We're just going to play the second birthing ritual. And we're going to go to the end step. We're going to look at 14 cards. Like an absolute hero, we're going to find the cat. No Cauldron Familiar here, but there's a Haywire Might. So I think as a plan B, we're going to sack this. We're going to get the Haywire Might, and then hopefully we can just sack that to the cat that we find on this one. Yep, okay, so there's a cat. So we'll just sack Haywire Might. We'll gain 2 life. We'll get Cauldron Familiar. Yep, there we go, 2-0. Excellent. All right, we'll be back shortly for round 3. All right, gamers, we are back. Round 3, so far we faced 2 Eldrazi decks, beat them both. One was ramp, one was combo. Now here we go on to game 3. Once again, Moto cooperating with us, giving us the play, which, I mean, this is a very resilient and powerful deck, but this is the kind of deck that really benefits from being on the play. This is unkeepable, no lands. We're going to mulligan. This looks better. I don't love the Underground Mortuary and the Dryad Harbor. The 2 lands in the deck that you don't want in your hand. We've got both of them in our hand. But it's fine. I think we're going to put back the Viscera Seer. We don't have either piece of that combo. So I can lead on the Mortuary and then go Amalia. And then if my next 2 draw steps are Wildgrowth Walker and Untapped Land, I have a turn 3 kill potentially. So if I don't play Synode Scout on turn 1 and I get lucky, yeah, we'll do that. We don't know what they're on. Gilded Goose. We do want that on top. It's free with Chord calling in. It's a food. All right, so we're looking like we're up against Boros here. So I'm not going to play the Amalia out into removal until we have a better plan. So we'll start with Synode Scout, Samwise. Samwise. What do we do with Samwise? It's the wrong combo. We've got most of Amalia in our hand. We just played the Scout. Yeah, we'll dump the Sam. I'll trade the Scout if the trade is offered. I don't think I would chump with the Goose, though. I really didn't want them to be able to play the Samwise. Okay. Woof. Woofy woof. Don't love that. Another Chord of Calling. So we'll play Dryad. We'll play Amalia. And now I can Chord. If I have to, I can use one of my Chords to get Sylvan Safekeeper. If necessary. Sure. We'll make him pay the 3 first. Oh, this is just going to be... Oops. This is just going to be a mega blowout. So what we're going to do here is we're going to Chord for 1. We're going to get Sylvan Safekeeper. And now we're going to sack this Dryad Arbor to the Safekeeper. I want to target the Amalia. I want to sacrifice the Arbor. Okay, good to not screw that up. Now if he wants to pay 6 life and sack his board, he can get rid of the Amalia, but I could just sack another land at that point after he chooses to pay ward, so he's probably not going to do this. Okay. So no ping happens. They also don't gain the life, which probably doesn't actually matter, but there you go. That worked out. Goblin Bombardment on the Safekeeper. This is basically asking, do I trade a land for Ragavan? Because I can Convoke with Chord. Alright, I'll have it protect itself. We'll sack the Temple Garden. They're deciding if they want to sack the Ragavan. Oh, geez. I think for the same reason. I've got Goose for the food, too, if I need to do that. Alright, so we'll just protect the Safekeeper. It's effectively the same as a land. Alright, cool. So from here... 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'll just pass. And I'll hold up Chord for 2 so I can get Wildgrowth Walker, and then I hopefully just draw into something that either gains me life or explores, or an untapped land lets me crack the food to be able to start the combo. So just need to hope that works out. If he can get one more card in his yard, so basically if he has a fetch, he'll be able to bring back the Flage. Which would be a bit of a bummer, because then I'm in the predicament of, do I sack the last land again? Yeah, there's the fetch. I think if he points the Flage at anything except the Amalia, I just Chord in response for Wildgrowth Walker. And let it happen, let the Flage happen. But if he goes after the Amalia, I'm going to have him pay ward 3, and then I'll Chord and sack the land. Alright, so we'll let him pay 3. I'll float a mana. Sack the land. Now I can Chord. I always do that wrong. Alright, X is 2. I'll get Wildgrowth Walker. Is it Wildgrowth Walker? Wait, I'll get Wildgrowth Walker. Cauldron Familiar kills. Cenote, the second Cenote Scout kills. That does not. That's frustrating. So now we're going to lose a combo piece to Flage next turn. Huh. Wonder if I punted this. Well, they're going to go after the Amalia. I'm going to have another Amalia, but I just don't see how I beat this Flage right now. Yeah, I don't think I can beat this. We're going to make him do it, but... one more creature, I'll be able to jump the Flage too. So if he had sacked the Cat Warrior to Bombardment, he could have flipped a Ajani and zeroed and have done, like, picked off another guy. And then the token entering would have given him a third energy to give Flage 8 power. Well, I think the Safekeeper's outlived its usefulness. We're in trouble. Yeah, I wonder if we weren't supposed to go that deep on Safekeeper. Like, I wonder if we weren't supposed to have it protect itself. But it did trade off for the Ragavan, so that's tough, because if I didn't do that, they get a Ragavan hit. Alright, we die, unfortunately. So we've got some cards. We've got Push, we've got Sun Cleanser. Bowmaster's good because it picks off their little guys, as is tradition. At least one scout's coming out. I think we want to take the halflings out. Doesn't feel like we have time for 6. Or necessarily the need. Like, they're not going to run board wipes. Like, they're certainly not playing Pyroclasm or Brotherhood's End or anything. I'm on the fence about this Grist. Like, I like the grindy aspect and the chump blockers, but we're already bringing in Push. I really don't want to cut combo pieces in this matchup because they have a lot of removal, so I want the redundancy. So I don't want to cut rituals or chords or anything like that. But it's like between a Bowmaster and a Grist. I think I'll just cut the Grist. Its matchup's a bit too fast for Grist. Yeah, this looks good. We actually have all of our 3s out of our deck now, so it makes our birthing rituals that much better with the 1s. Do we want Haywire Might for One Ring or Blood Moon? Maybe 1 for Blood Moon. And cut 1 Bowmaster for one of those. And when I die with a Haywire Might in my hand to an Ocelot's Pride that I couldn't pick off, you can comment on the video and let me know that was a mistake. I think this is the first time we're down game one. We might have lost game one to the Eldrazi deck, the combo one. Once again, a 0 lander. We'll mulligan. This hand is on the play. We can't keep this. Like, I would maybe keep it on the draw because you can just cash the Viscera Seer in for another look in a worst case scenario, but we'll mulligan. Oh, I guess we're playing this. Oh, perhaps I was supposed to keep. I wonder if I was supposed to keep one of the Verdant Catacombs to get Swamp. In case they still have Blood Moon. We'll get Overgrown Tomb here. Casts both of our spells. We're going to lead on a Goose. We're really hoping to draw land and then Samwise combo piece because we've got the Viscera Seer here already. So if we can get like a Samwise in the next draw step and then hit a land, we'll be able to Chord for the Cauldron Familiar for the kill. Oh, second Chord. Okay. Well, that'll work, I think. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we get a land, that's 5. But right now we can already Chord for 1. If we get the Samwise last, we still need a way to trigger it, so we'll have to keep this food around. But the red deck definitely won't have removal, right, guys? Are they on one land? No, they're not on one land. Sure. I guess we're just not fearing Blood Moon. I'll put this in the graveyard. I already have the ones that I need, I think. I really want an untapped land. Okay. So to do this, I don't have a white source now, though. But that's okay. Because we can, when we Chord for the cat, we'll get it. They're going to have Galvanic Discharge, though, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, I should have sacked to the Viscera Seer. That's a big-time mistake. Yep. That was very bad. If we lose this, I'm going to draw one extra card, and it's going to make a difference. That'll be the punishment. Alright, Amped Raptor into what? Max punish with a Blood Moon here. Oh, Johnny, okay. I already wasn't blocking. I think Energy actually should be a good matchup for it. I haven't played this well. But typically with this sort of deck, Amalia combo, Cat Cauldron stuff, you gain a lot of incidental life, and you'll just be able to represent more combo kills than they can. Okay, so this is interesting. Again, we can't just... Yeah, we can't just win. So we'll ping with Cauldron Familiar. I think we're dead next turn. Another raptor. Ooh, flip a Johnny. We are super dead. Yeah. All right. Well, we deserve to lose that one. We will start round 4 shortly. All right, we're back. Round 4. The game of how many times in a row can we go first? It's still continuing. We're at 4. Sure. We'll lead on Forest Goose. And then we'll hope we draw an untapped land. And if we don't, then we have the choice of playing Samwise off of the treasure or holding up Bowmaster, depending on if it looks like that might be a good thing to do. All right, so it's Murktide. They've got a good amount of removal and counter magics. This could be a little difficult, but that's all right. I think we'll play Viscera Seer, and then we can fire off Bowmaster. We'll hold that up. See if we can catch him with another Preordain. Bowmaster? Yeah. So the first thing we'll do is sack the Viscera Seer to itself so they don't get a token. Ooh, jackpot. Alright, so that combos with Amalia. So now, do I even play this Bowmaster back? Yeah, I think I will. We don't have to go super fast here. I want to take this opportunity while I have it, and their counter magic's down. I think I'm going to hold up and just make a food. Wow, into the Bowmaster. Okay. They must be very worried. They went 2 top that time. Alright, so their last preordain was 2 bottom. This one was 2 top. I think I start with this attack. I'm not going to attack into their Bowmaster. Alright. Play the Wildgrowth Walker. I'm a little bit afraid of Toxic Deluge, but if it's in the main deck, it's a one of. Famous last words, but we'll play it out. And then next turn, what would be a dream is if we also drew the cat, and then we could have a couple different options here. We could go Samwise cat, let them disrupt that, and then the next turn slam Amalia, crack a food, and win. Doesn't break the delta. So you got complete Harbinger. So I'm totally fine with that. No, he's playing. Oh, there is the Deluge. Man. Alright, well, let's get some value. We're not going to have any creatures, so Ritual's not very good. Yep. That's good. So now if we draw a white source, we can play Amalia Crack Food Win. Well, let's see if it works. Counterspell. Sure. Nothing from the opponent. Another Sam doesn't help us that much, especially because we don't have another white source to jam through two pieces of interaction. Alright, push. Another push. Oh, Cling to Dust. No respect for Sam's ability. Alright, well, the race is on. I have 2 turns. Actually 3 because of the food. We can always play second Samwise to get another food if that matters, but right now it doesn't. But maybe if we can make a few more, that buys us another turn. Not quite ready to crack it. I could return Amalia to my hand if I played Samwise, but then I couldn't cast her this turn. We'll hold off. I'll eat a food, though. I'll eat a food during their turn. I'll actually do it in their upkeep. Yep, I go to 3. Gilded Goose saves me. Windswept Heath doesn't save me. All right, they got us. So in game 2, Veil is good. Just Veil. Endurance is a trap against them. I think, as usual, Cenote Scout is bad. I kind of want to also cut a Viscera Seer. 1/1s are bad against the Bowmaster deck, and I know we need it to combo, but if we get there, we can set it up in a way where, you know, maybe we're getting into play at instant speed with some protection like a Safekeeper or whatever, but I don't necessarily want one in my opening hand to, like, jam on turn 1 just to get picked off. I don't know about push. I don't draw cards, so I don't really care about Bowmaster. Endurance doesn't really stop Murktide. I was always happy when I played a lot of Murktide before Modern Horizons 3 to see my green opponents bringing Endurance in, because it's just, you know, shuffling their graveyard one time is not a great plan against them. Nothing here. Yeah, I think we're good with this. Our opponent's taking their time, thinking long and hard, looking at all of their anti-Amalia technology. I'd expect them to bring in some more board wipes, whether it's Toxic Deluge or some of the other cards that are sometimes in that spot, like the -2/-2 effects and stuff, which would be very good against us. Once again, a no-lander. We mulligan. This hand's fine. I think I put back Cenote Scout. I want to get Cauldron Familiar going. Alright, no push for the Goose. Do I just want to jam 6 before they have counterspell mana? I think so. Yep. Got Scolding there. One top, one bottom. They saw one that they liked. Oh. Perfect. So we'll just pass here. We can make a treasure if they do nothing. If they play a draw spell, we can Bowmaster. I don't want to play the first Bowmaster and give them a Bowmaster target, so we'll just be patient. Getting a treasure does so, or a food, I mean, does so much in this deck. Turns on Goose, makes Cauldron Familiar good. Alright, alright. So now we can play the Cauldron Familiar. You got Bowmaster Veil available. If they don't do anything again, we'll just be happy to make another food. Fatal Push. We'll get the mortuary and just be patient with this other fetch that can go in the yard. That's basically the same as being in play. And we'll actually put it in play, put a little pressure on here. Get as much chip damage in as we can. We'll hold up the Bowmaster. Cenote Scout. Sure. Well, let me attack first. Sending in the cats. Get in there. Meow. Alright. Play the scout. It's Chord of Calling. We're not putting that in the graveyard. Nope. We're happy to Chord. In a game like this, right now, I think I would Chord for a Grist. So if they play a Bowmaster, I might not even play mine back, because in order to Veil to protect it, I would have to crack this fetch and shuffle the Chord away, and I think being able to Chord for Grist, I didn't side that out, right? No, I didn't. Being able to Chord for Grist is great in a game like this. The trick is getting it to resolve, but again, Veil of Summer helps out there too, so I really want to preserve this Veil if I can. I'm fine letting Bowmaster kill a cat, if that's what it means. What's this, though? Deluge for 2? For 3? Okay. Well, that surely makes my Chord worse. I could Bowmaster here anyway. I lose to second Stern Scolding. Well, not lose, but like we get blown out by second Stern Scolding. By Spell Snare. I think we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, he's got it. So here, I will shuffle. I will shuffle. Ooh, another Veil's good. The Chord would have been nice, but honestly, getting your creatures wiped like that, I wasn't going to be able to Chord for Grist, so we'll shuffle it, protect the guy, draw a card. What do they got here? Bowmaster. Sure. Oh, I think I was supposed to play this first so that he has to ping himself. That's a punt. That's a punt. Oh, no, it's not, because the first one will fizzle, and then he still has to ping himself, so it's the same. Murktide? Yeah. Birthing Ritual would be nice. Chord would be nice. Hey, we got the Chord. Alright, so we'll go green, green, green. I guess I'll crack one of these lands. So hopefully no Force of Negation. I hope those came out against the deck that's mostly creatures. It did not. That sucks. Alright, well, hope we can top deck either Grist or Negation. Or Grist or Chord of Calling, excuse me. Well, we've got to try again. Do I play around... Yo, you can't spell... Oh, yeah. Do I play around Spell Pierce? I think I do. Alright, so we bought a little bit of time. Not a lot. That is not exactly how you want to use a Chord of Calling, but that's game's over if you don't. You want to be able to do it when you're ahead and you can plus and just gain a bunch of value. But we found it too late, so you gotta do what you gotta do. Viscera, Seer. Shoot the Sheriff. Sheriff shot. I think we're dead. Yeah, one top, one bottom. Not great, not great. Yeah, I don't know what saves us right now. We have to find Gilded Goose, so I should crack this and just get a land out of the deck. Nope, that doesn't do it. GG. We started hot. Energy was winnable. I know I could have played that one better. That was a learning experience. Murktide seems like a tough matchup. They've got counter magic removal. Main deck Toxic Deluge. I wonder if we should be on 4 Delighted Halflings, just because between Bowmasters, counter magic. Against energy, you just want them to go fast. I wonder if we should be on 4 of those and maybe -1 Viscera Seer or something. Yeah, I could see, like, if I were to do another league, we can talk about this at the end, but I'd probably do -1 Viscera Seer, -1 Cenote Scout, 2 more Halflings. There's been a few times I feel like I've been stuck on mana. Ramping out 6 and Grist on turn 2 is like a really nice plan B. Having 8 Dorks I think would be better, because Viscera Seer is so bad when it's not actually part of the kill. And we've got Chord to look for it, so maybe that's better. Alright, let's get this game started. Hey! 5 out of 5 on the play. Better to be lucky than good. Oh no, I was on the draw. Whoops, saw that wrong. Okay. Well, let's take a peek here. I don't have any green creatures. So if I lead on this Godless Shrine, it delays when I can start Chord of Calling. So I think I'm gonna play that last. So I'll lead on Viscera Seer. And then we can hold up Bowmaster. Next turn we can like Heath Bowmaster. Alright, the opponent has let us play Magic, so we'll get Overgrown Tomb and play out this Viscera Seer. Our opponent's like, uh-oh, they're not doing anything fair. No, we are not. So let's see what they got going on. What you got for us, opponent? Lush Portico. You could beat Domain. Oh, yeah, okay. Living End. I don't think that's very good for us. That is not ideal. So I'm going to play Birthing Ritual. Cycling Curator, yep, go ahead. So what can I get here? Don't need Amalia. If I sack the Viscera Seer for the Samwise, does that actually accomplish anything? Wildgrowth Walker? I can get Wildgrowth Walker. Alright, let's do that. Alright, alright. So Halfling is free. And so is Bowmaster, except it takes a green away, but that's okay. It's actually interesting if I can make Amalia go boom this turn in my end step, because then I'll have a bunch of decent stuff in my graveyard for if they living end. And I have another Amalia. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to play Amalia. And I'm going to hope I can sack this Delighted Halfling. If it becomes Bowmaster, I don't want to attack, because if it becomes Bowmaster, then I can Chord for Cenote Scout. So I'm actually not going to attack. The 1 damage is unlikely to matter. Come on, show me. Okay, there's Scout. Okay. So I'll sack this. I'll get Scout. I'll explore. I'll get a ton of life. I'll be able to pick a good card for the top of my deck. So we'll auto yield. We will auto yield. The revealed card is a Delighted Halfling. We'll put that in the graveyard. We'll put another Amalia in the yard. We actually want a ton of creatures. We're going to basically put everything in the graveyard, unless it's another Chord of Calling, like very late in the combo, because we just want our graveyard full of stuff in case they living end us. If we, like right now, we have the entire Samwise combo in our graveyard, so they literally just die if they living end. At first I thought this was a bad matchup, and now I'm realizing it might actually be pretty good. Like, I just don't know how they beat this, possibly. I mean, look at all of the cards that'll come back if they living end. And then the cards they'll put in here if they have a second living end are also... It's the full combo right here that'll go to the yard together. Alright. Combo done. So now I'll go to my end step and just discard a bunch of lands. I have 13, so I have to discard 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get rid of the slow lands. Or fast lands that are now slow lands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I was supposed to get rid of a Dryad Arbor, but I don't know. It's like an uncounterable way that you can't stop with Sink into Stupor to like start the Samwise combo to get the first food. Although we're probably getting like 5 food, or actually a lot more than 5 if they living end. Yeah, I just don't know what they do here. Like, they Sink into Stupor Amalia, that's fine. They get to replay her plus Bowmaster if they do that, which is totally fine. Oh, endurance, yuck. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's one way to do it. Alright, well, they don't have it. So now I can, if they have Sink into Stupor, if they misplayed and saved it for my turn, I can Chord of Calling now for Sylvan Safekeeper. Alright, would you like to pay the ward? So it was Colossal Sky Turtle, but same difference. I can give it Shroud. Holy smokes, I didn't realize we only had one fetchable left. Whoops. That was almost a disaster. Alright. I figured with the reshuffle there'd be a lot, but not the case. So we get Sylvan Safekeeper. We sacrifice one of these precious lands. Okay, we win. Up a game. So now we'll have our own endurance. I know they play Press the Enemy. What's that card do? I'm on the fence about Veil. But if Press the Enemy targets, return target spell or non-land permanent an opponent controls to its owner's hand. You may cast instants or sorceries. Okay, so if we remove the target, the rest of this fizzles. Can't be countered this turn. You and permanents you control gain X from blue and black. But this doesn't counter. Does this counter return? No, it doesn't counter. It just returns it to the hand. So Veil actually does not stop Press the Enemy. So I don't know if we actually want it. But I think it's probably safe to take Bowmasters out. Yeah, I think we probably cut the Bowmasters here. Maybe actually we can cut one of the Cenote Scouts. We'll see if maybe not having Veil was a mistake, but it doesn't stop Sink into Stupor. It doesn't stop Press the Enemy. It stops the bounce from Sink, but it doesn't stop Sink from returning a spell. This is fine. We'll play this hand. We can fetch Temple Garden, Goose, and the next turn go... Oh, next turn we would go 6, actually. That looks good. I was going to say we could go Amalia Cat, but in this matchup, I like 6 to fill up the graveyard. Especially on turn 2. Living End in the yard. Okay. 1 down. Ooh, now do I... Now do I play the 6, because then I can't pitch it to Endurance? No, we're going back to the original plan. I'm going to play Amalia. I'm going to play Amalia and then Cauldron Familiar and Explore. This will explore too, so if it's a creature, I'll just dump it in the yard. I would dump pretty much any creature in the yard. Yeah, oh, especially another Cauldron Familiar. Yeah, I would have really liked to play 6 there, get a trigger. Hopefully get a second trigger. Unfortunately, I mean, not unfortunately, I'm glad we have the Endurance, but drawing the Endurance changed those plans. This is where Viscera Seer would be nice. Just sack my board. Just endurance them, sack my board. That would be so nice. Okay, they don't have it. Or they're choosing to hold up interaction. I'll take it. I shock here so that I can hard cast endurance. So I can hold up endurance and then make a food if they don't do anything. I guess I just attacked Amalia into a potential endurance, which was maybe not smart. Maybe that was not my brightest moment, but we go unpunished. Shardless Agent. Alright, well, let's see. I'm assuming it's Living End, but you never know. Could be a lunatic playing the blue one that steals your stuff. Something Betrayal. Nope, so we're going to go green, green, Endurance Hue. I don't want to pitch the 6. I want to actually be able to play it after this happens. They're already at 8. Birthing Ritual or 6? 6, I think. So the fact that he did that last turn, but he didn't do it the turn before, I mean, leads me to believe he probably doesn't have another cascade effect. But what's this timing? I don't know. I guess they were assuming I might have a land and have something to retrace. Okay. So we'll attack with 6. Mill 2 Chord of Callings. So is he gonna double block here, trade off the Shardless, no shuffle. So we'll go Dryad Arbor, Samwise, Birthing Ritual. And if I hit Viscera Seer off the Birthing Ritual. Oh, okay. I was going to say I could sack the Dryad Arbor to it, but getting subtlety here. So we'll put it on the top still, because we can Birthing Ritual. What do you exile? Excellent work. All right, so we're going to sacrifice the Cauldron Familiar, and we're going to get the Samwise that we put on top anyway. And now we'll see if they have anything for us, and if not, we get a draw step, we get a Surveil, And then we'll have a chance to sack the Dryad Arbor for Cauldron Familiar. Oh, or we can just draw it like a hero. So that's also... Oh, we still need Viscera Seer. Still need Viscera Seer. Getting excited about nothing, but here we go. We'll play Cauldron Familiar. We'll yield. That was a premature scoop, right? Yeah, I didn't have a sack outlet. We'll take it, I guess. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we would have whiffed on that one. We would have gone to a draw step, and it was right there. Okay. Right, that's how that would have gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We wouldn't have been one deeper from anything anyway. Yeah. So then the next draw step, we'd have Viscera Seer. We'd have the combo GG. They did not stick around. That's okay. All right, so let's see. What did we end up with on that one? 3 and 2, so 1 chest. Our play points back. What do we have? Let's open the chest. Always open. I had one from before too, so bonus chest. I like you guys so much. We have a bonus chest today. We'll do one at a time for suspense. 5 play points. Twitching Doll, Dungeon Geist, Innkeeper's Talent. This gets played in some format, right? 1 and a green. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Levels up for a green. Permanents have ward 1. Okay. You put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player. Put twice that many. Oh. Okay. So I'd imagine there's some poison stuff happening with that. I know I've heard of people playing that. Okay, let's see what the next one is. 5 play points. Wish. Another Innkeeper's Talent. And a Mirror of Faith. Okay. All right, so to wrap up here, deck was fun. We were 3 and 2. I think a better pilot might have been 4 and 1. My familiarity with Amalia, I think, from Pioneer helped me out here. So if you're Pioneer pilots looking for a place for Amalia, I think you'll find this is a good home. But obviously, cards like Birthing Ritual are very powerful. Chord of Calling we already had in Pioneer, so like those lines are familiar. But the addition of Grist and Orcish Bowmasters is nice. The Samwise Cat combo is also just another level of game over and creature combo. There were a couple times, like after Toxic Deluges and stuff, I wished, and I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I wished I had collected Company. I still think Chord and Birthing Ritual as a combo is better, because if you play Coco, you probably don't play Birthing Rituals or Chords. That's just too many non-creatures. So I do think this layout's better, but there were a few times I wished I'd had some Cocos, so I don't know if maybe that could be a sideboard consideration for a couple of those. Like I know I've played versions of like Heliod and Modern over the years where I've gone down to 2 Cocos in certain situations, so I could see maybe something like that out of the side. I know Amalia and Pioneer for some deck lists was on like 3 Coco main one side, and they'd bring in the 4th one against control or anything where they were really worried about board wipes. So that might be a thing you want to look at here. But overall, I thought this was a fun deck. I might tweak the mana a little bit. Like I sort of would like I don't think that the Concealed Courtyard and the Blooming Marshes really matter that much. I would rather have perhaps another couple fetchables, and I do think that it would be good. I'll actually make this change now. I want to think about the mana a little more, but a change I would definitely lock in. I would go -1 Viscera Seer, -1 Cenote Scout, and I would go can I add it right from here? No, because I don't actually have the copies. Halfling, Delighted Halfling. So I would add 2 more halflings. I think having the extra dorks is good. 2 toughness is good in a Bowmaster world. Uncounterable is good. Like that would have certainly helped us in that Murktide matchup that we lost if we'd been able to push, different pieces through, like a turn 3 Grist through counter magic, or Just get Amalia or Samwise in. We also played into Toxic Deluge that matchup. I think a little too much in game one. I wasn't sure. I've seen some lists with Deluge in it, just like one main board. I've seen a bunch without. So I sort of rolled the dice there and wanted to press, and we got punished. But I think that's probably a tough matchup for us. But I do think, I think it was round 3 energy. That could have gone a bit better. But this is definitely a change I would make. Synode Scout, 1 is fine to Chord for. 2 is, I think unnecessary. Halflings will pull more weight, and it'll give you a better turn 1 play. I want to think a little bit about whether Concealed Courtyard and the Blooming Marshes really belong in here, but I think that's a little more open for interpretation. As far as the sideboard goes, I needed Sun Cleanser against Energy, didn't get it, but they obviously put in a lot of work in this current modern format where Boros and Mardu are everywhere. Fatal Push, sure, yep. Veil, I'm on the fence about Veil of Summer. I prefer creatures over stack-based answers because of Chord of Calling and Birthing Ritual in this deck, so I want to think about the role Veil serves and maybe what else we could play there. But it was fine. It was good against Murktide. Endurance obviously was fantastic for us against Living End. Damping Sphere against Eldrazi. I don't think that mattered. I don't think we brought the Needle in, and Haywire Mites. I don't think we actually activated it, but we sacked it to find a combo piece to win. So overall, I like the deck. Just make the minor tweak with Halfling and maybe take a peek at the fast lands. But overall, it's fun. If you're an Amalia gamer, I think you should give this a spin. It's a familiar old friend, obviously. It's good enough for Modern 3 and 2 and could have easily been 4 and 1. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.